morning and welcome to Saturday Morning Comic Talk, where we talk about whatever the heck I thought up on Wednesday and speak with some top indie creators. So, as always, we're going to get things started. We have everyone on the show today is actually returning, so thank you for coming back. So first,
welcome.
Dallas, Connie, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
So I am Dallas Hoisington. I'm the co-founder of Hide Hermit Studio.
I'm Connie Huang. I'm actually the founder of Hide Hermit Studio. Here's our mascot, Hide the Hermit Crab in the plush form. And we're actually a self-published artist. We do a lot of children's books, sketchbooks, and comics, and eventually, hopefully before SDCC, which we're going to go visit as an attendee all 5 days, showing off our newest children's book, and hopefully we will get the other comic done as well. But we mainly focus on merchandising.
IP development and merchandising production.
That's what we usually do.
Nice. Yeah, because I know your table always has the cool pins and plushies and stickers, all that fun stuff, which I always have stickers and no one wants to buy them, but your stickers people will actually buy because they're like, all right, that's a cool sticker of someone I don't know. Good day, sir.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I always love your table. You have the cool setup, and yeah, you have lots of fun IP, and I think I have your crab on a few of my boxes and things that I transport around. So yeah, because all my boxes for all the different cons are just whoever my neighbors have been. I put their stickers all over them, so they're kind of like those travel suitcases loaded with stickers. That's my con cases loaded with stickers from whoever happened to be stuck listening to me pitch all day as my neighbor. All right,
that's
so
pretty cool.
Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a writer and co-founder of Seerdog Comics. We have a bunch of superhero comics and a cat and space comic. And horror anthology. Yeah, Mittens. So, yeah.
Horror anthology that I'm waiting for. That's the one I will have a piece of. I have my little, I think I wrote 4 pages for it or something like that. 4 or 6.
Everybody write 4, except like one dude I think has 6. Instructions.
So yes, he broke the rules. Yeah. I gave you my 4, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. My fun little ghost story. So yes, when that one comes out, we'll definitely get both parts of Seer Nova in here to talk about it and hype it up. Because if nothing else, you want to read it for Greg's part and my 4 pages. Because we've established that then when Greg launches, you buy. That's the rules.
Yeah, that's
the rules have been established on this show, and we're not here to break them. And if you got me in it too, I mean, I don't have the same rules for my own writing, but for Greg's, come on, like I'm in there. That's just a bonus. The Greg, it's like it's part of the rules and regulations of indie comics, so you must follow. All right, so we're doing a couple topics today, and the first one we should all know easy answers for this one because it's always something new and difficult. What is the most difficult part of creating, whether that be comics, your plushies, your IP, your own characters that you're designing? What is for you the most difficult part? So, Dallas, what is your most difficult part of creating?
I think it's being motivated, really, to do the thing and stuff like that. And I kind of have to like sleep it off for a little bit and then start cranking out work as the case afterwards. Because I have to think of like different types of like things I want or whatever happens during that day that kind of may motivate me to do a thing. So I think that's the most difficult part of that one.
Well, for me, it's going to be time because because I have to balance like a lot of things as a small business owner as well, where you have to tack on like multiple hats. Plus, on top of that, you have a full-time job because we all us like small business creators, we all have like a day job to keep us afloat. So, and me also being an artist too as well. It's like, yeah, I had to finish getting these graphic assets done, and it's like time is your enemy.
Yeah.
You gotta have to figure out how scheduling and when can you get it done. But deadline is like the way of more of my motivation. Like, okay, I have this event coming up. I need to get this done as soon as possible. So
Yeah.
that's the most difficult part. It's just time. Time is your enemy.
I agree with both things so far. So, Greg, what's for you the most difficult part of creating?
Time, I guess, and also just waiting on like an artist or something to like finish a comic. So,
yeah.
I
guess that's what we have too. Is the ones that are just writers. We have to wait for an artist to get done, and it's always tricky time because I think every one of us here has a day job that we have to juggle those hours with. So it's not like, okay, I wake up in the morning, I start writing scripts, I begin my creative process. No, I wake up in the morning, I go work, I come home exhausted, and then now let's start the creative process when you're devoid of energy. You've been cat herding third graders all day and nothing left in the tank. But here, write a few pages for your script because your artist is waiting. So yeah, that's time is rough. At least for me, the good thing is as a teacher, I do get those summers off. So summers are where I do wake up and just create. So that's a good thing. But for me, I'd say, I mean, every part is the hardest part. Is too simple of an answer, but I think it's just trying to market yourself when that's my least favorite thing to do is and put Facebook posts and put TikTok posts. And I know Sarah, who comes on the show a lot, we have our challenge for the summer. We're going to try to build up our presence on TikTok. And I know, Greg, when I was on your show once, your partner was saying, just post every day and you'll see that kind of growth. I did it to heart and I did it for like a week. And I saw growth. I got new followers and I had a lot of movement. And then I'm like, that was a lot of effort. I'm tired. I'm not going to do that anymore. So now in the summer, I have no excuse. Summer, my job is a full-time creator. So I got to get out there, do the TikTok challenge, one post. I don't know if I could do a post a day. I don't think I have that in me. But if I can do a post, 2 posts a week, I could see that growth going on. And same thing on YouTube, trying to grow that in the same way. So just that marketing part. And then maybe you'll get good at the marketing and you'll hit a wall and have the worst writer's block. And everything you write is complete garbage and you know it. And this stack of awful scripts that you've just written, like, I'm not going to throw them away. I have this file called the crap file. And I will put it there because there might be a nugget of decent material hiding in there somewhere. But you just know, like, everything that I've produced in this 2 weeks of, spending 4 or 5 hours a day writing is all useless. So there's everything. I think that's the right answer because whether it be time, marketing, just writer's block, your artist not getting the work in time, or your artist, in my case, I have an artist who's very eager and he's like, okay, I'm ready to work. I'm thinking, well, I got no scripts done because at the moment I have 4 books that are fully ready to go for this year. I really don't need anything else. 4 books in a year for me that's a full year. That's everything I need. So I'm not thinking about, I need more books for 2026. So having an artist who's like, hey, I need work. I need to go. Let's move right now. It's all the problems. So yes, if you're out there and you're thinking about creating indie comics, don't just think that it's all terrible. I mean, we're all here. We all have done multiple things and multiple cons. So obviously we're not saying it's all terrible, but man, it is not an easy job, especially when it's your second job that pays very poorly.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a long run kind of ordeal. I mean, you're investing your time to hopefully your creativity can reach to possibly like millions of eyeballs, but at least you're leaving an impact to these other of your fans about the storytelling you're giving out.
And when you get that person come up to your table and they're just blown away by what they read and they loved it so much, that's when you're like, okay, this is worth it. I may make pennies to the dollar on what I could get at my real job, but at the real job, you don't get. I mean, I guess as a teacher, you hope you get those satisfying moments too. But when someone loves something you created specifically, it's that great feeling that keeps us waking up and driving out to those cons early in the morning, and having your feet destroyed by the end of the day because you don't sit down. So yeah, there's a lot to it. But when you get those people that like, oh, I love your book, I can't wait to see what happens next, that always feels good. So yeah, that's what keeps us around, because yeah, it's definitely not for the big paydays.
Yeah, I definitely like the feeling of creating a fan, and anything else that would just come by as your regular. That's just amazing.
Yeah, when you get those regulars, okay, I'll buy anything that you have on the table, because I have one. He's like, whatever's on the table, he'll look and say, okay, I want to make sure I have everything that's on the table. And then when you have one, I had one, I did this little con, and this student came up. He goes, oh, I know your book. You're my teacher's favorite author. It's like, those are those ones that get you the warm and fuzzies, and not the, oh, I got to quit this terrible gig right here. So yeah, those are what keep you going. So Fish, how's it going? So Fish, he'll be on in a couple weeks. I know his son is graduating, so congrats to your son.
Oh wow,
that's an amazing accomplishment. Getting through college, it's never easy. My wife will actually be graduating next Friday, so yeah, so good stuff. So let me think. I had a thought, I lost it. That's how this morning is going. But yes, so I guess when it comes down to it, it's all difficult, but the worthwhile feelings you get when someone loves your work and wants to read more of your work, it feels amazing. So let's get into our next topic. And this one is open to anyone. So out there in the audience, and if you are creating, you can tell us what your most difficult part is. Go ahead and drop it. So, all right, house looks good. That's good, because we're going to have to clean our house the same way Fish is for next week when we have people rolling in. Because right now, I mean, it's like there's clean, and then there's guest clean. Those are two different levels of clean for someone's house. It's like guest clean, like clean enough, like, all right, I don't feel offended by walking around my own house right now. And then there's guest clean, like, all right, they're not going to notice any of the shit we hide in the office or in the laundry room.
Or like it just looks like nobody lives there.
Yeah, but ours. I think it's the opposite. It looks like 18 people live here when it's only 4. It's like, how can 4 people generate that many dishes and things like that? So yeah. Either way, we have to get guest clean by next Friday, so we'll be ready for it. So, so new Dick Tracy movie based on the new comics. That'd be interesting. I haven't read the new comics. I've heard good things, but I haven't read them. So yeah, you're kind of getting ahead. Best comic book movie. So yeah, the Aces of Movies would we want one based on that? I don't know. Did any of you read the Dick Tracy, the new comic series?
No, I haven't read it, but like I know they did a film like back in the day that was kind of like hit or miss.
The Madonna one, yeah, it was a Madonna and Warren Beatty. I remember seeing that when I was a kid and having an argument with one of my cousins who said that it was better than Batman. I'm like, that's blasphemy! How dare you?
Like, no
Batman
way,
is defined my full existence right now. So yeah. So
I definitely like the third Deadpool film, because they showed Kane Marco in there like properly. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, so that's good. And yeah, for you, if you Stacy, if you think that it would make a good movie, I've heard nothing but good things about the comic book. So it's one of those things, I need to read it. I want to see what it's all about, and it'd be nice to get a new take on Dick Tracy, because the first one, yeah, like I said, besides my cousin who thought it was better than Batman, but I think that the time has proven my point on that one. But at the time, he gave valid arguments, and he gave a rousing argument, even if he was wrong, about why Dick Tracy was better. But yeah, I would love to see a new take on Dick Tracy, because Dick Tracy is one of those IPs that have been around forever. I don't know if it's public domain. I would have to assume it is by now.
Maybe,
but
I'm not sure.
I mean, since I'm not rushing out to write a Dick Tracy story, I'm not quite certain on that one. But yeah, I would think it could be fun. I mean, I'm always a sucker for a good comic movie. I'd love to see it. we see so many now. It's like, just give me a good one at this point. I've seen too many bad ones, and it's reached a point where I don't even care when a new Marvel movie comes out. I don't rush to the theaters to see it like I used to. It used to be, okay, I gotta be first weekend because I don't want spoilers. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll catch it when it hits Disney Plus, if then. So, all right. So I've sidetracked us as I do. And
question: what's Dick Tracy?
What's Dick Tracy? So, all right. So we know Connie's not vying for a new Dick Tracy movie. Dick Tracy is.
I'm like, what's a Dick Tracy? I was like, I know Dallas know what it is. I'm like confused. I'm like, what's Dick Tracy?
He was a detective, wears a yellow coat, and fights kind of weird looking villains, kind of like early Batman, you could think, because all of his villains, like they have, like, one has a flat head, and I think his name is Flat Top. I mean, literal names to these villains. Yeah. And it's kind of noir crime from the 20s and 30s, I believe. And yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. I remember not hating the movie. I don't think it aged well. I think if I tried to rewatch it, especially not having any real nostalgia for it, it's not gonna be a great watch. But yeah, Dick Tracy, you can look it up. I think it's on Disney Plus. You could watch it. And it was little comic strips from the newspapers, I believe, is what it used to run as. But I'm no Dick Tracy historian, so if I got it wrong, definitely throw it in the comments. Stacy, you might know more about Dick Tracy than I do, so please drop it in the comments, because yes, I try not to put wrong facts, so I'm just talking with what vague knowledge I do have of Dick Tracy. So, all right, Dallas, what is your favorite comic book movie?
I said earlier, like the third Deadpool movie.
That's it. Okay, so third Deadpool movie, yeah. That was a fun one. And that was one that begged to be seen in a theater with a full house. Where certain movies, and it's funny because they have, if you watch those honest trailers on YouTube, they kind of make fun of the dramatic pauses that they do when the new character walks on the screen, where they have to pause with no dialogue or anything for a couple seconds to accommodate the audience cheers. And then you watch it at home, and it's just kind of an awkward moment because no one's cheering in your living room for it. So yeah, they don't age as well. But yeah, the third Deadpool, I saw that actually at San Diego Comic-Con with a full house, and that was a lot of fun. We didn't get to the San Diego Comic-Con screening. I wasn't that lucky, but yeah, we went and watched it at a theater in San Diego, the closest one to the convention center, and it was, a big sold out showing, and the energy was so much fun, where it was one of those great movie experiences. So, okay, so it was in the paper then. So he made his own Dick Tracy comic. So yes, I was not inaccurate saying that it was part of the newspaper, but yeah, like I said, I had vague recollections of it because I know I saw it all the time when I was growing up, but it was just where, and I think they've even released collected versions of it and colorized them and things like that. So again, if I'm wrong, let me know. So Connie, what's your favorite comic book movie?
Jeez. I would say the same thing with Dallas, but it's okay to say a TV show because we've been watching recently.
You can say whatever you want. There are no rules.
Oh, we're watching Invincible.
Invincible? Yeah, even though it's not a movie, it's a comic. We can say comic adaptation. We can.
Yeah, there you go.
We can broaden the category. So Invincible, I watched season 1. I have all the collected versions, all the big compendiums, and I keep saying I want to read it first, but then as that great thing we were talking about before, time. It's like, all right, you got to create. When are you going to actually read for your own entertainment? That's even harder. So I think I'm just going to watch it like you guys and see, because what is it, season 3 now that it's on?
Yeah, they're in season 3.
It's really good.
Yeah, so it's one I got to watch and check it out. And yeah, I'll agree with Fish. Wonder Woman, that Snydery filming where everything was slow-mo and frozen frames. And I guess it's trying to create a comic panel, but it got so tiresome. And Wonder Woman, even though that's kind of one of the best of the Snyderverse, I agree with Fish. Those slow cuts got got messy. That's what we need. We need someone to do like the despecialized editions of Star Wars where they took out all of Lucas's stupid changes. We need the de-Snyderized version of the DCU where they just speed things up and everything's fast again. So
kind of the new Suicide Squad when James Gunn took over.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
When he took over, it made it a lot better.
Yeah, that was so much a better movie than the first Suicide Squad that was a mess. And then you have the director who was also upset that they cut things out, and Jared Leto was whining, but
all he did was be like Harley, and that's it. I was like, oh, okay,
that's another one from the Honest trailer where they were doing a side by side with Jim Carrey from what was it, from Ace Ventura, and Jared Leto, where he's like a hunka, and it's like, oh, Jared Leto, you are not good. So yeah, then that whole fucking Juggalo style that they made for the Joker as well.
No,
it's like, all right, so we know the director definitely went to a Juggalo convention. He's definitely an ICP guy, and he's like, what if the Joker was actually a Juggalo? So yeah, that was some bullshit. So yeah, Sin City, that was one of the most faithful. I love the first one. I never saw the second one. I know they made a Dame to Kill For, I think was the name of the second one. But it wasn't Robert Rodriguez. I think Frank Miller directed it himself. So I haven't heard good things, but it's one of those ones. If I catch it on streaming and I have infinite time in my catalog, I will watch it. But yeah, I like that one as an adaptation. So Greg, what's your favorite one?
Maybe Endgame. Probably.
Yeah, I think
Endgame was fun. Yeah,
it was so good, and I think that was kind of the peak of the Marvel universe, and they haven't got back there yet.
But I actually want to see Thunderbolts in theaters, which is weird because I haven't really cared about seeing a Marvel movie in theaters.
Yeah,
but I actually want to.
I've heard good things about that one. I've heard it's really entertaining. That one, I'm sure I will go see it. I haven't seen it yet, and I think this weekend my wife and I are going to go sneak out because the kids don't care about any of the movies that are out. So we'll go sneak out, and they're old enough. We can just let them stay at home and not worry about it. So yeah. When you got a 19 and a 15-year-old, you're not so stressed out like when they were little. So we're either thinking that or the new Final Destination. So I was just going to
say that. Yeah.
Yeah. The new Final Destination has got insanely good reviews, which is surprising.
Really?
Because it's a franchise that I thought had run its course. And honestly, I was entertained by all of them. There was only one that I thought was pretty bad, and I think that was the fourth one because they did everything with CGI instead of doing all the cool practical effects. So they went for a full CG for all the kills, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, here comes the big kill. Oh, it just killed a cartoon. That's not very exciting. So when every kill looked like a video game kill, it was really bad because it wasn't just CG, it was really low level CG. It's not like James Cameron was directing this thing. Yeah, that would have been fun to see Jim Carrey, like those two versions, not just the over the top one that we got in, what was it, Batman Forever? That was that the Bat Nipple era? I don't know.
Riddler?
Yeah, when he was the Riddler.
Yeah, he was Riddler, the Riddler.
But I think he could have been a better, more menacing Riddler if they had taken him, like Fish was saying, where he still has that same kind of wiry bounciness and, brings a little malevolence to it, not just Jim Carrey over the topness. Because that was the era where everything was just Jim Carrey was acting at 11 at all times. And, he had no off switch. So that was not really the energy you wanted in a Batman movie. But I think now you could get a better, more menacing vibe with that. Of course, now he's just freaking Eggman from Sonic. That seems to be the role he's just going to retire in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll make a new Sonic movie every couple of years, make a shit ton of money, and tell everyone I'm going to retire. But then one last time with Sonic, like that's going to be the movie that grabs you out of retirement. I'm not going to even disparage the Sonic movies. As far as video game movies go, they're entertaining enough. I have seen my share of terrible kids movies. I mean, growing up with the two kids, we had to see every stupid Chipmunks movie, and that is some bullshit that will ruin you as you're watching it. You're just like, I feel my brain shrinking with every moment of this, and like, oh, here comes fart joke. Yes, of course, there's a fart
yes,
joke.
my favorite
There's
joke.
always a fart joke. So yeah, after having to watch all the terrible kids movies that were out there, the Chipmunks, you know, Sonic in comparison is high art. So yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, that's just, I'd love to see Jim Carrey come back and give us one last take on the Riddler, because the last Riddler take we got was more Hush than Riddler as far as it goes. And you know, that with that, what was it, the Batman, I think it was called, where everything, I mean, that movie could have moved a lot faster if they just actually walked fast. It was how many shots of them walking slowly? Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's their feet again, and we're just gonna watch 5 minutes of walking. So yeah, that what could have been an entertaining movie was ruined by walking.
Cats vs. Dogs was not bad. What are you talking about, Fish?
Like, I think Jim Carrey could have been like, you know, at least a good Joker if he wanted to, I suppose. Like older Jim Carrey, and I think that could work out.
Yeah. Cats versus Dogs. What is that? I don't even know.
It's a early 2000s, I think, movie.
Oh, I'm familiar with that film.
I fortunately I missed that one. So I
Listen
don't know.
out.
Greg's saying I should watch it. Fish is saying I shouldn't watch it. So I guess the room is split on that one. So for me, I guess it's more, not even the best, but my favorite would have to be the 89 Batman. Only because that's the one that just was such a cultural phenomenon for me. I think Endgame's probably a better movie as far as it goes. And it was kind of everything you wanted to see all those years of reading Marvel Comics. But Batman was the first, and I was young. And it was just, it swept across the middle school. It made comic nerds cool for a minute. And it was just so exciting to see that. And I just remember going out and buying the Batman cards and, you know, having to have a full set of Batman collector's cards. And you could find Batman shirts in stores for once. And it was amazing until it stopped being cool. And, you know, the Jim Carrey era led to the Bat Nipples, led to Mr. Freeze and puns, and everything fell apart. And then I think the when Nolan came back, it kind of made, I would say, The Dark Knight might be the best made comic book movie, because it kind of plays not just to the comic nerds, where it's just a well-crafted movie on top of it all. But my nostalgia is always for the Michael Keaton Batman. And I mean, and I hate Batman Returns, so it's not even that whole Michael Keaton one. It's like, I will watch Batman 89 with beautiful nostalgia glasses, because I don't want to critically start tearing it apart, because it could be easily torn apart. But I'll just watch it with my, I guess what it would be like 14-year-old goggles on and be like, okay, this is the greatest movie and it's better than Dick Tracy. You're wrong, cousin.
That's a cool. Say The Crow.
Oh, see, The Crow's another one. Yeah, that one. Ooh. That see, I think about those ones where it's all of the nostalgia, and that one is not just the movie, but that soundtrack is just so iconic. I love every song on that one, and that might be my favorite soundtrack. It's between that and Singles, so it's like those two soundtracks are the greatest movie soundtracks out there. And that movie just, oh man, I remember when it came out, it was, you know, that was one of those ones where it was just life-changing thing that you watch. So Batman, The Crow, by the time the Marvel Cinematic Universe was in full swing, I mean, I had grown up loving them, reading them, but it's also that kind of like, where were you guys when, you know, when the jocks were beating my ass for loving comic books? Like, now it's cool. Go to hell, you guys. That's not cool.
I think it was at a time when films actually gave a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they were trying to be more cinematic, and I love those ones. So yeah, Greg, you can easily turn me, but I think it started all with Batman for me. Like, I remember loving Superman when I was a kid, because that one came out, I think I was 4. So yeah, I mean, that one, I remember growing up watching it on, you know, VHS and all that and loving it. But Batman was the first one that just fully roped me in, and then you have the Crow after that, and then the whole Nolan universe that I love. But I think it's just because that was the first one. If the Crow had been first, then it would have taken that spot. But I think it's just as Batman was released first, it wins that category. All right, so now the category that everyone dreads, my music category, but that's okay. We'll take it. So this is talking about reuniting a band. I've done one where we said we're going to resurrect someone from the dead. So yeah, you're going to go to a Bob Marley concert or a Nirvana concert. This one, we're looking for a band where at least a majority of the members are still alive, and they're going to come. They're going to play one last concert to close out their careers. Which band are you bringing back for one night only? So Dallas, who would you pick for this one?
I'd rather prefer if it was Danny Elfman and the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo. That would have been great.
So yeah, like proper Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman will play solo stuff now. Oingo Boingo plays there. I think they call themselves like former members of Oingo Boingo. It's like, dude, you guys are really that's not a cool thing. You should just say like, fuck it, we are mostly Oingo Boingo. It's like, all right,
yeah.
Not former
I think they
members.
Just don't like Danny Elfman all that much.
Yeah, so, but you know what? Suck it up for one very lucrative night, Oingo Boingo and Danny Elfman. Former members of Oingo Boingo, Danny Elfman, and now he's all jacked and buff. So buff Danny Elfman, former members of Oingo Boingo that are playing like bars near my house. Like, oh man.
Yeah, like, oh shit.
Danny Elfman's headlining the Hollywood Bowl, and former members of Oingo Boingo are playing a bar in Claremont. Like, oh man,
you literally hear his music in The Simpsons.
Yeah, so that I'm with you on that. I've heard because they used to do the big Halloween show every year in Irvine.
Oh, really?
And the people I know who went to it said, "Oh my gosh, those were like the life-defining shows that you could go see. They were just so amazing." And by the time I was old enough, I kind of missed out on that one because one of my friend's brothers, he was the one that would go buy me the albums with the explicit lyric stickers on them. So he's how I got copies of NWA, and he was also trying to get me on Oingo Boingo. So I would listen to that with him, and he's like, I think I was about 10 at the time. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to see them for the Halloween show. It's going to be amazing. These shows will change your life." And by the time I was old enough to actually see one, I could not get my life changed by that. But yeah, there you go. One night only, play at the Coachella field or something.
Oh, 100%.
Go make your, hundreds of millions of dollars, former members of Oingo Boingo and Danny Elfman, suck it up. You can punch each other after the show and give that one last performance. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I hadn't thought about that one, but yeah, I would love to see one last performance of that since I've been told how good it was. Now, was the hype too big? Did they build it up too much in my mind? I'm like, damn it, this didn't change my life at all. I feel the same. I was promised life-defining moment, and all I got was a kind of good concert. So
yeah. You have to be there when you're 14.
Yeah, I guess so. I was too old to have my life changed. Like, you're 50. It's too late for you, sir. You're officially in the old category. You can't have your life changed. It's just
no.
You just want to live it out in peace by this point.
Yeah.
All right. So, Connie, who are you picking for this one?
I'm gonna stop because I don't like going to concerts that much.
Okay.
But
we can say it's going to be streamed on YouTube for you then. So you can just watch it from the comfort of your living room.
I mean, if you had to pick, which band do you think would you want to be? Maybe like some pop band from the 90s, or what do you think would be?
I could think it's either Evanescence or Linkin Park.
Or Linkin Park. Ooh.
Okay. So you're going zombie mode.
Singer
or Evanescence, you could probably say. I haven't heard that band in a while.
Yeah, I think they reunite here and there. So there you go. They're going to do one big show for you, their farewell show, streamed on YouTube, so you don't have to go stand amongst the smelly people.
Yeah.
So there you go. So Connie's bringing Evanescence back for one final gig. They can open for the Boingo show. We can just make
over at Coachella.
So here's what we're doing. We're no longer picking the bands to reunite. We're curating the next Coachella. So the big band is proper Oingo Boingo. So then the next small band is Evanescence, because as now you can watch Coachella in your living room, and it's beautiful. You don't have to
Oh,
go
wow.
out. Because I watched all Coachella this year just at my house, and I think the first weekend of Coachella was raining. The second weekend was 100 degrees. So both weekends,
God.
I was happy to be enjoying them on my couch because that's a lot to deal with. And I was able to watch all the sets that I wanted to watch, enjoy them, and it was beautiful. So yeah, there we go. We have our 2 first bands. So Greg, any band you want to add for this one?
No idea.
No idea.
And that's okay.
No idea.
The music question's always a curveball one. So just any band.
The bands that I like, they're all like still together. So
yeah. So, but there you go. Throw one of the ones you like. So it's our now 3rd band of Coachella 2026.
Maybe Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
You're going zombie bands again, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Blink 182, I guess. I don't know.
Cool. All right. So Blink 182 is now our 3rd band in the mix. I guess because you need 3 days, but we're not doing 3 days. It's too many damn days of Coachella. And I actually used to go to Coachella when you could buy 1-day passes and you just pick the day with your favorite band and you go for that. Now you have to buy 3. I'm like, oh man.
How much was a 1-day pass for you at the time?
The first one I ever went to, the 1-day passes were $60 each.
Oh, that's not bad.
And that was 99. And that was a really good lineup. That was like Rage Against the Machine, Tool, Beck, Chemical Brothers. Then some of like my smaller bands that I really loved, At the Drive-In and Spiritualized. And it had Morrissey, but fuck that guy. I hate him. So King Douche, I had to watch him because I was waiting to see another band that I did like. So yeah, it was really good. It was 2 days. I went both days. Loved it. But yeah, at that point when you could pick, it was a lot better. Now it's 3 days and you're going to be hanging with a bunch of cool streaming YouTube, and Instagram influencers, and they're going to be, trying to show off their best outfit and just talking through the band that they're supposed to be watching. So
right. Yeah.
I will enjoy the YouTube experience at my house and not have to stand next to influencers.
Yeah.
Vapid YouTube influencers that are either flipping their hair around or flexing their muscles. And yeah, I don't want to see the men. I don't want to see the women. I'll watch my nice live stream and not stand next to humanity. All right. So for me, our final headliner for Coachella 2026, I'm getting the Talking Heads back together.
Oh,
that's a band. Everyone's still alive. They are fully capable of a reunion show. And from what I've heard, Coachella has been offering them truckloads of money to do it. So it obviously means that they made enough money when they were touring as Talking Heads. And I know 2 of the members also got like one giant hit with their side band, and I forget what it's called. So forgive me. My Talking Heads knowledge is thin. I don't know all the members, but I know that was like the Tom Tom Club. I think they formed that, had one big hit. So they're all just stupidly rich. They don't need the truckload of money because they would just have to go back up next to the other truckloads of money that they get for just their songs playing and streaming. But I would love to see one night of Talking Heads because I've seen video clips of them back in the day when they were in their prime. I remember watching Stop Making Sense when I was really young, and it just looked like a really good concert. So that's what I'm doing. For my one night only, we're seeing it's going to be Blink 182, Evanescence, Oingo Boingo, Proper, and Talking Heads. And there's our Coachella. I mean, I could round out all the small print bands because that's what I listen to more than anything would be the small print bands. I love the cool indie stuff. So we'll reunite Suburban Rhythm, which no one knows, but that's this cool ska band from the 90s. So we're like Suburban Rhythm reunion that like me and 5 other people might actually give a shit about.
Like Real Big Fish or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, Real Big Fish wrote a song about Suburban Rhythm, which is funny. They wrote a song called Whatever Happened to Suburban Rhythm. I'm like, they know. They'd be one of the 5 people all pumped with that Suburban Rhythm reunion show at my Coachella 2026.
There's actually a band that I listened to that used to be ska, but I never listened to them when they were ska.
Which one's that?
Iceland Kills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be ska, and I don't know if you know the band Hoobastank. They used to be ska as well.
What?
Yeah. And they hide that ska CD as best they can, but they started as a ska band. I have that first ska CD of theirs, and they spelled their name different, like H. They spelled it Hoobastank with a U, and now they try to pretend like they were never ska. Like, but let's hide the fact that we were ska from the world, because yeah, no one wants. Oh, it was some crazy stuff, and I've heard it, and it's a full ska album, and then they realized ska was over, so they became new metal. But those of us that own that first Hoobastank CD, we know that they're ska imposters. Then they were kind of new metal imposters, but we're all new metal actually imposters. You know, that's a question for another day.
Yeah. Just they found a reason to not be ska.
Yeah, they're like, no one's buying this ska shit anymore. Let's become new metal so we can go open for Incubus instead of Real Big Fish.
Oh gosh.
So yes, all right. Any other bands you want to throw in since we're curating our Coachella? Anyone you want to toss in for this?
Still playing?
They haven't. So you know what? Get Rush one night only. They can get another drummer for that. So there you go, Rush. There's our night 2 headliner.
Yeah.
That'll bring out the old guys. When they had that like it was called. Basically, everyone called it Old Cella, and it was all these older metal bands. So you had the Who, and you had
wow.
It was like the Who and AC/DC, and I forget Tom Petty when he was alive. So yeah, it was just all these older bands playing Old Cella. So we're gonna snatch up the Rush from Old Cella, and they can open another night. Because yeah, like I said, I could fill the whole bill with weird obscure bands no one's heard of, because that's what Coachella used to be. It used to be a couple big names, and then these cool small bands that no one's ever heard of, but they were trying to kind of get them their love. And it was the joke, like the small print bands were always better than the large print brand, large print. So I would go and hang out on the small print stages, because that's where the good music was happening, and that's where you would see early Arcade Fire and At the Drive-In and like Thursday and all these bands I love, but no one, they got small little blips of fame, but never blew up. So yeah, that if I'm curating my Coachella, I want to curate the small print, and Talking Heads, they can go in my large print, because that would be great. And yeah, I'd love to see proper Oingo Boingo, like everyone says. And yeah, even Blink-182, I think they're playing somewhere near here, out in Palm Springs. So I'll probably go catch that one, because they're always fun. It's funny because they're as old as I am, and they're still with the middle school humor. So you just kind of laugh. Like, I don't know if that hits as well when you're 50, but
some of their songs are actually like a little mature now.
Yeah, they have some more mature songs, but it's more their middle, like between song banter, where it's just they're acting like they're still 12. But as I say, we're all 10 years old. We're all 10-year-olds in rotting flesh. So why grow up? What the hell's the point?
I guess there's a interview or whatever that Tom DeLonge was like, yeah, I really don't like my voice in like the music video for All the Small Things. But
hey, Grant,
that's his voice in all of them.
Yeah, they're interesting, but they're immature, but why not? So, Grant, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Sorry, I'm late. I got a haircut today, and it took a little bit longer than I thought it would.
No worries. We can kind of fill you in on what we're talking about now, because I know you listen to more music. So we're talking about if we get to reunite one band for one night only, and now it's kind of morphed into we're curating Coachella 2026 to make it good like it used to be, not about YouTube influencers and look where I'm at, and they have the Coachella section at fashion stores. So what's a band that has mostly living members? You don't have to have a fully living band that you're bringing back for one night only. So Dallas is bringing back Oingo Boingo with all the proper members.
Oh.
Greg threw in Blink-182 to throw onto the mix, and Connie is doing was it Evanescence, and I picked the Talking Heads. So what's a band that you'd like to bring back for one night only?
So I was going to say the Talking Heads.
Okay.
If I had to pick a second band, it would probably be ABBA.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe the Police. I know the Police toured not too long ago, but they haven't toured.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's probably been close to 10 years now that they.
I think so, yeah.
Record,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
All right, so
But,
there we go. There, the Madness Comic Group is saying Rush as well, and I think Dallas, did you say Rush?
I did say Rush, yeah.
Yeah, so Rush, we have that one too. And like I was saying earlier, I would have more fun reuniting a bunch of the small print bands because that's what I've listened to for so much of my life is just kind of going against the mainstream and focusing on these little guys. And I could have a really good time with the small print bands. But yeah, Talking Heads, that's a band I really hope will suck it up for one more tour. And I generally don't do the football stadium tours or anything like that because I hate them. But if it was Talking Heads, I would suck it up for one night. Like, okay,
that was going to be
I'll
my
deal
next. That was going to be my next question. Do you think the Talking Heads were big enough that they could do stadiums if they reunited?
I honestly think they would, just because there's been so much. There's so much wanting for a reunion with theirs, and I know Coachella's offered them. I think I've heard upwards of like between 5 to 10 million for one performance. So I don't know if they're football stadium though. I think I don't know. It's hard to say. I think they could do, if they did a small enough tour and just the big cities, like if they did Chicago, New York, LA, and not a huge scales tour where maybe it was only like 5 dates, I think they're football stadium worthy. But I think if they did a gigantic one, it probably would be more like basketball stadiums. And I think they could knock the basketball stadiums out really easily. But do they want to? I don't know.
So another band I was just thinking of, I know that they've reunited, but they haven't reunited near where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see the Misfits.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
And they do a Halloween show usually every year out in LA, which is where I'm near. And for years we haven't done any of the Halloween shows because we've had the young kids, we're taking them trick-or-treating. It's more about them. But I was telling my wife earlier this year, I said, you know what? Kids are old. They're going to do their own thing. They're going to go hang out with friends or whatever. It's time to start hitting those cool Halloween shows now. So hopefully this year, Misfits do another one of those Halloween shows and we can actually hit that one up, because I would love to see them. And yeah, that's one. I've never seen them. I would love to see them for one of their Halloween shows where they just do all the Misfits good songs and entertaining stuff.
So
I like go to our Coachella.
I like all of the Misfits. Like even the stuff that they did, like the stuff that most people don't like. Like into the 80s after Glenn Danzig left. But I mean the Danzig stuff. I read an interview with Glenn Danzig where he said he's never going to make another album just because he thinks the whole Spotify method of making money is bullshit. So, which he's right about. But
yeah,
I would like,
it gives bands the least amount of money.
Right. I mean, I would like. It would be cool if we could get one more album from them, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I don't think like Spotify is like their only thing that's paying them. They can go other routes.
But it's hard to sell. I mean, this is such a non-record selling era. Unless you're Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga or something like that, people aren't buying the physical media anymore.
No.
I hate
more
to say
the streaming and iTunes buying, I guess.
Honestly, I think the Misfits probably make more money off their T-shirts than they do their music, because I mean, I see people all the time wearing Misfits T-shirts, and I'm like thinking like, this many people can't be buying Misfits albums, I mean, I think they like that iconic skull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, and I've seen fifth graders in my class. They come in a Misfits shirt. I'm like, oh, cool, you like the Misfits? Huh? Like,
you want to hear something crazy? I remember when I was a kid, my mom bought me a Led Zeppelin shirt, and I remember studying the inside of the record in case anybody drilled me.
You're ready
on Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? Like I memorized the names of all the members, what instrument they play, like all the songs on the album. But like kids nowadays aren't like that.
Oh no, they all are. They'll rock their Nirvana shirt, and I see the shirts, and I don't even ask anymore. I got all excited because there was a small window of time when I was teaching where the Guitar Hero and Rock Band were out, and the kids actually knew good music for a minute, and they're coming in, and I hear them singing a Nirvana song. I'm like, wait, you're singing a Nirvana song? Yeah, it's in Rock Band. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever it takes. And then they're singing a Beatles song. I'm like, okay. The world's looking up, and then it's like, nope. Now they only know stuff that comes on TikTok. Like, okay, is that song on TikTok? I know it, because they'll still surprise me. And I had a student. She comes in. I gave her a quiz back that had a low grade. She's like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." I was like, that was beautiful. Like, where'd you hear that song? Oh, TikTok. I was like, I don't care. I said, that was beautiful. I said, you win the day. I said, here's a revision sheet. You can get your test score higher, but that was so funny to have a 5th grader singing Simon and Garfunkel. So yes, I thought of another band to bring back for one more show, and that'd be REM. I'd love to see them for one night only in our Coachella 2026 for people that actually want to hear good music again. So all right. I guess, Grant, we'll give you the chance to answer our other question. So what is your favorite comic book movie?
I would say it's a toss-up between The Dark Knight and Ghost World.
Oh yeah, Ghost World.
I totally forgot about
that's a
Ghost
good
World.
one.
Shit.
Yeah, because that is a comic movie, and it's just not the stereotypical one, but yeah, that's a good one. Good.
It's like
pick.
Steve Buscemi at his best. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time. That's not only one of my favorite comic book movies, one of my favorite movies of all time. I like the comic book too. I think I like the movie a little bit better though.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I watched, when I saw the movie, it made me rush out to buy that comic because I wanted to see the comic that it came from. And I think you're right. I think that's one of those ones where the movie actually elevated the material to where you can say the movie's better than the comic. It's great that both exist, and it's great that you get a movie, because I think that was nominated for Academy Awards and things like that, and a comic movie not in the stereotypical sense of comic movies.
Right.
So,
yeah. I was surprised when I first read the comic book that Steve Buscemi's character is a really small part of the comic book.
Yeah.
It focuses more on the friendship between Thora Birch and Scarlett Johansson's characters, which is cool. I personally relate more to Steve Buscemi's character, so that's why I like the movie better.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I would have not have thought of that one. So good call. And then I'll give you the first question we did was most difficult part of creating. So for you, what's the most difficult part of comic creating?
My answer is probably the same as everybody's. For me, it's the promotion. It may not be. Making the comic book is what you put your blood and guts into, but the promoting it, it's not always fun. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, to say the least. That's so hard, and just I think it's you take a comic creator like any one of us that does it completely independently, and we have a strength. Okay, our strength might be writing the books, our strength might be creating the art for the books, but then we have to do all the things that are not our strength and try to do them as well as the things that we're good at, and that's the worst part of it.
I think part of the reason why people become artists is because maybe there's something about them that's not good at expressing themselves, in more conventional manners. So, but if it's like, if you want to be a successful comic book creator, you have to start getting good at this. And obviously, this is something, imagine like Steve Ditko or Alan Moore or Jack Kirby trying to do a YouTube channel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It would be it would be a
Create
disaster.
TikToks. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what here we are. It's like, okay, I created a TikTok. I have to try to run a TikTok, and I don't know anything about it. My children will see it and say, "Dad, you're cringe." I'm like, I'm old. I'm a 50-year-old trying to get on a 15-year-old's platform. So I'm not gonna come across well.
Yeah, my stepson keeps trying to get me into Discord, and my stepdaughter keeps trying to get me into the one you just said,
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, God. I mean, the thing is, it's one more thing to keep track of.
Yeah, yeah. And that is true. That's the most difficult part, is just another thing you got to do. And it's hard enough just remembering, okay, keep making sure you do posts on Facebook, make sure you're getting engagement on all of your different places. And here's some new stuff you know nothing about. Be good on those as well.
Right.
So yes, I agree with you. And I think just, yeah, everything is like, you have your strengths, and that's great. And if you had a team, like, okay, well, I'll let my marketing team handle that part of things. Like, we're our own marketing team, so we have to handle the things that we're completely garbage at, and that you're a 50-year-old in the wrong lane trying to do. So it's like, okay, how do you make it where you can act your age but still get engagement? And that's something I've been spending a lot of time and effort this month, just trying to get my YouTube channel boosted up and trying to get it stronger. And it's just I'm spending a few hours a day working on that. And it's just, all right, how much time do I have? I haven't written a thing over that time because I've been focusing on the YouTube. So, people want to read my books. They don't want to watch my YouTube, as sad as that is.
Isn't that frustrating? I mean, you want to become a comic book creator, and then when it gets to the point where it's like, oh, it's been 8 days since I did any comic book creating, because I'm so busy doing all of the non-creative things involved in being a comic book creator. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, we're all in the same boat, I think.
I guess that's the good thing, is we're all in this together, and we all kind of do the best we can at all those things. So it's not like, oh, well, I guess you could be a great promoter. And I know people who sell their services because that's what they're good at. But as indie comic creators, we're also generally broke. So it's like, I'd love to pay for your service, but I'm just going to do it ineptly myself. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a huge name, like I remember hearing Mark Millar on his YouTube show. He said, "Oh, I don't update my Twitter because it doesn't really affect the sales that much."
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you got into the comic book industry at a time where you didn't really need that.
Yeah.
But people coming up now need it.
Yeah, everything, you have to post it all around and hope that those Kickstarter sales actually arrive, because that's part of the game. But like you said, we're all doing it together, so that's the beauty of it. And there's plenty of good people out there that will help promote you, that will share your stuff out. So yeah, just know, if you're out there, you're thinking about creating, don't let us discourage you. It's there's good parts, and we can talk about that. There you go. One of my topics for next week: what are your favorite parts of creating? Because we've talked about the uphill battle of creating. So what are the things you love? So next week, that I'll let people kind of talk about that, and I'll still throw a weird music question at you, because no one's getting off that easy. It's like, for my music fans, it's not so hard, but for my non-music fans, be prepared. So let's head in now and talk about some campaigns that are live. So, and then Dallas and Connie, you can definitely share what you have, like your website and things like that. So if you have your website, throw it in the private chat and I will share that. But let's start off with our own, we don't have any live campaigns. We have some notify on launch campaigns. So we're going to start with those. So give me 1 second. So let me share the screen. My eyes are bugging out today, so do forgive me. I'm doing my best, but I woke up and everything was shimmering, and that's not good. And that's why I'm getting another eye surgery soon. So blah. I won't think about that today. We'll think about ink, the trade. Let's think about that instead. So let me add this to the stage and tell us a little bit about ink, Greg.
That's a tattoo artist turned superhero. He has a nightmare one night, and then he goes back into his tattoo shop, and a mysterious guy comes over, touches his arm, and then a key forms on his arm, which is a tattoo. And there's a countdown. He has to get to a certain place within 72 hours, or he dies. And it's basically like a forced destiny. So,
yeah, and it's one of my books that I've reviewed on my. I need to bring it back. That's one of the things over the summer I'm going to do. I did little 1-minute mini reviews of different comic books. So if you have a book and you want to have it reviewed, definitely send me a digital copy of the book and I will get it on my list for summertime. So I'm hoping to do I'd say about 4 new books over the summer. I can do about 1 a week because it's again that aspect of time, and I need to create my own books. But if you have a book, if you'd like to get it reviewed, send me a number 1, because if you send me a 2 or a 3, I need to know where the story starts. But yeah, I'm going to start doing the little mini 1-minute reviews of different comics. So drop it to me, send it to me in a message. If you'd like anything that you've created, reviewed, just let me know, because Book Break will be coming back later this year over the summer. All right, so you have something else as well, Greg. So let me pull up your late pledges right now for Night Watch. So let me share that instead. Let me see here. Got to remove it from stage and share. Yeah, like I said, forgive me. I'm doing my best, but I don't want to be Mr. like super squint on the screen. So
getting old man.
Oh man, no, just eyesight's not my friend. All right, so tell us about Night Watch, which is fully funded, and Fish, who's been chiming in through the show, is the artist. So tell us about this comic.
It's a retired MMA fighter. He does one last championship title reign, which is, lasts a few hours. And then he retires early at a conference, and he just is trying to avenge his best friend's death. So he believes it's the Russian mafia, but it's actually maybe somebody else.
So, twists and turns.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but yes. Here's our art by Mr. Fishley. Good stuff.
Fun action scenes.
Yes, I love the MMA fights that you have here, captured really well. Like I said, Fish is the man.
Yeah.
He does amazing art. He writes great stories. We'll be talking to him in 2 weeks. He'll be on the show talking about what he has going on. I think he'll be at late pledges for his story as well. But Fish, if you are still watching, I know you have a graduation party to attend to, but if you're still watching, drop that link for your campaign in the chat so we can share that on there. And I'll put I'll put all of these links in the chat so that you can check them out. So just kind of going through the campaign, you can do late pledges. So if you think, oh no, I missed Night Watch. No, you didn't. You can get on there right now and get your Night Watch. If you know what's good for you, you will get yourself a copy of Night Watch and all the cool stuff. Are all the tiers still available as late pledges, or is it just more of the books?
All the tiers, yeah.
See, you get anything you want. You need your Night Watch t-shirt, wow. You get it now. It's not too late. It's never too late until he stops that. So that doesn't mean you can procrastinate any longer. You procrastinated long enough if you missed the campaign. So now is your time to get any of the cool stuff you see right here. So anything else you want to tell us about Night Watch?
Just waiting for the funding, and then I can just ship it.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Wait for the funds from Kickstarter, then people can get their books. So yes. All right, so I have a couple comments. Let's see here. All right, so yes, good job, Fish. Love his stuff. And I'm going to get all these links in here, drop them in the chat right now. This will put it across all of our platforms. So first for Ink, it's a good read. I enjoy it. As I said, I did all of the reviews for it. I did the review for issue 1. It is well worth your time. And I think I've read everything that we have going on here. So, and then there is Fish's link in the chat now. So thank you for putting that in.
Oh.
And then here is for what we were just talking about. You can see Fish's work on Night Watch. Those MMA fights look incredible. So now, Grant, tell us what you have going on. Let me share it for us. And yours is the League of Cryptids.
Right.
And this one is in pre-launch, so let me get it up here for us. There we go.
This is League of Cryptids number 3. The idea behind it is cryptids as ancient aliens. There on the screen you have Chupacabra. The idea is that thousands of years ago, Federation of Planets sent 5 aliens to Earth to protect and help Earth develop. And the 5 guys were Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, and Mothman. And so an alien invasion spearheaded by aliens who are based on the Loveland Frogmen, which is another cryptid, come to Earth. These 5 cryptids have to get together to go up against the Loveland Frogmen.
Nice. And is that the frogman hiding right there behind the tree?
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I have 1 and 2. And yeah, I generally try to back all of Grant's stuff as well. It's very entertaining.
The good news is if you don't have issues 1 and 2, you can still get that in this Kickstarter.
It's not too late. So there you go. If he'll have a good catch-up tier. I'm assuming physical or digital, whatever your preference is. So yeah. When are you planning on launching?
June, I think it's 6th or 7th.
Okay.
And whichever one of those days. I'm sorry?
Is it going to be a 30-day?
It's probably going to be longer than 30 days.
Longer?
Yeah,
okay.
Roughly.
Well, that's cool. So we'll definitely have to have you on again when it's live. And then, yeah, I've been talking with you a little bit about the music show, and we're doing one of the albums you suggested. So if you want to join us when that one comes, you are welcome. It's just right now we're shuffling our schedule around because we actually have bands that are going to be coming on live for the show. So they get priority over anything else because, of course, it's their schedule you got to work around. But yeah, we'll definitely be covering your album. So you're welcome to come and join us. I'll send you the date when it's 100% solidified.
So are the bands going to be talking about their albums, or are they going to be talking about their favorite albums by other bands?
Both.
Oh,
so
cool.
we'll follow the same format of the show where we talk about the history of the band, but of course, since the band is there, they can give us their own history. We'll talk about the recording process of the album that we're covering, what songs they find to be their favorite, if there's anything that they wish they had approached differently. And then I ask them the same kind of thing, like, okay, what are your favorite bands that you're listening to right now? And let them kind of discuss what's good and what's new out there that people may not have heard of. And then since they're going to be live, any of their fans can come on and ask questions in the comment section, and they can answer those questions directly. So it kind of gives their fans a chance to interact live with the band. So yeah, we have 2 coming on. So it should be fun. 2 smaller indie bands, which is kind of like we talked about earlier, my wheelhouse, the small print Coachella band. So bands in that realm, and should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, and then we'll be talking about the Bruce Springsteen album that Grant suggested, because we have a lot of requests for this one, and then Grant can come on and tell us if we're right or if we're wrong in our assessment of the album. So, because sometimes...
Did I tell you I got to see Bruce Springsteen for the first time this past year?
No. Where did you see him?
Here in Pittsburgh at
Okay.
PPG Phoenix Arena.
Very cool. Yeah, he's still one I haven't seen. I gotta remedy that when he comes around. But he comes around and it's just like, oh, big stadium show or big arena show, and I always scoff. I think if he does arenas, I'll do that, but stadiums, no thanks. I don't do the talking heads. There's my limit of who I'll go see in a big stadium, and I think you're right. I don't know if they're quite on that level. I don't know if they've hit the stadium level for their reunion, but who knows? Maybe one day we'll actually find out. All right, so we have one more thing to share, and that is, let me get that up here, the Hyde Hermit Studio. So give me a quick second. All right, so this is, there we go, on the top. I'm just blind, as we've established. Okay. So tell us about your website and what you can get on it.
So what you can get on it is our new collaboration we did with Boss Monster, which is the shirt, the Tiki button-up shirt that we did with them. Anything else, and you can also get a variety of enamel pins, our plushes as well, and then also a bunch of other fun goodies that come with that.
So that's your products list is right here.
Yep.
Some of the very cool pins, like I said, I've seen at their booth when I've been at cons with them. They've been my neighbors one time, and then we've been at a lot of the same cons together. So
yes,
I love the little Pennywise one.
You know what's crazy? I listened to Hyde's show, and I just I didn't even realize it because he doesn't show his face on the show. But then when you started talking, I recognized your voice.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because you usually see the dragon than anything else. You're like, wait a second.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so summoning Cthulhu. I need to get some of these for when I have the Cthulhu invades fairy tales on my thing, so that could be kind of cross promote the Cthulhu stuff with my stuff.
Yeah, that one's like a 4-pen piece set.
It's huge.
Yeah, I'll just have you give me a couple of them, and just if I sell them. Rolls. Yeah, because it could be there next to it, and they can think that it was on purpose, but no, it's just a good coincidence. So yes, we got the Hyde Hermit Studio stuff. You got shirts, you got pins, lots of amazing stuff, and like I said, I've seen it all in person, and it is top quality. It's not some crummy little pin, and I love your little Pennywise here. That is very cool.
Yeah,
my brother collects clown stuff, so I gotta grab that. So let me get that also into the chat so that we can, if you want to go purchase some of that stuff, you can grab it. I recommend all these creators, so I recommend them. I've bought stuff from them, so I do put my money where my mouth is. I'm not just telling you to do it and then be like, you guys do it, not me. No, I will buy from any of these creators when they have something for me to purchase. So all right, so let's take a look here. The Hyde Hermit Studios. There's your link. Every time I show a link, I'm going to stop sharing because every time I do, I cover Grant up. So my goal is not to make Grant invisible.
Yeah.
Like, that is your punishment for being late. You're covered up. So we got Hyde Hermit Studios. Check it out. We have Night Watch 1 from Sierra Nova Comics. That's the trade number 1, not issue. Or no, that is issue 1.
No.
With the trade,
for ink, it's the trade.
For ink, it's the trade. That's this one. We have Mr. Fish's good stuff. And then I don't know if I have the link for League of Cryptids. So let me get that and add that in there. Yeah, the first few issues are a lot of fun. I recommend you getting these ones as well. And if you want me to do one of my 1-minute reviews, I would be happy to do that.
Yeah, like you said, I think you already have.
I'm pretty sure I have one. I would just need the digital copies because I get digital copies and I don't pay much attention to them because I read the physical ones. So I'll double check. It's probably in an email somewhere. But I'm also
I can just notoriously.
Yeah, just or whatever book you think you would prefer to have me do number one of, because I know you have other stuff as well. You have the Beowulf ones as well. So whatever I guess the cryptids would be the best one to do. I can try to get it. In fact, I cannot try. I will make sure I get that review up while you're live of number one, so people can hear my review of number one and see why they must go buy numbers 2 and 3. So yeah, you are now officially my first on the list to get it done, and in June. So while your campaign is running live, we can have that little review up there.
Well,
Since
yeah,
I've read
and
it,
also,
I know I like it.
let me know when you have a Kickstarter live, because you can come on my show as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know I've set a launch date because I'm going to launch along with Lori Calcaterra. We're going to launch together since we both have very similarly themed comics with worlds where everyone has become immortal, where hers are more zombie immortality. Mine's more you're stuck as humans immortality. So yes, we're going to do a co-launch with shared stretch goals and everything. So it should be good.
Yeah, Laura's been on my show before. So if you both want to come on, or you can come on separately, whichever works better for you.
I'll talk to her. It's kind of dependent on her schedule, but that'd be great coming on, because that way, if you buy physical copies of both, we're going to have a two-sided metal card that'll have my cover and her cover together. And I did the same thing with Dan Schmidt when he was doing Worms Crawl Out. So if you got Immortal Era and Worms Crawl Out, you got a really cool metal card. So we're going to do the same thing for physical backers, and for digital backers, you'll get a PDF version of the card. I mean, we can't give you a physical card if you buy a digital, but you'll get a digital version of it. So we have that planned. We're going to do a big launch in July. I forget the exact date, but yeah, coming soon. So yeah, that'd be great if we came on your show and we can promote it as well. And yeah, I appreciate that. And with that said, thank you for tuning in. Tune in Wednesday. We're going to be not Grant, but Dash, my co-host, and I, along with Matt Knowles, are going to be talking about Trollfest, Flamingo Overlord. This is, I think they're Norwegian death metal, and the whole album is about flamingos that take over the world. And I did an interview with the band, and I wrote the interview as insane as the album. So I did not write I didn't write a serious interview. I wrote them like, are there any other birds that you think could defeat the flamingos, and would you rather be ruled by vultures or anything like that? So that's just one level of question that I've answered, that I asked them. So they asked me to write weird questions, and I gave them weird questions. So tune in. I will be going full flamingo for the episode. So if you want to find out what full flamingo means, don't miss Wednesday at 6:30 when I embrace my flamingo overlords. So tune in. And then next Saturday, we won't be live with guests. We will be live at Pasadena Comic-Con. I'll be doing a walkthrough, hopefully not getting assaulted by Flash Gordon, because if I try to film him again, I think this time he'll beat my ass. So I will try to avoid any confrontations with Mr. Gordon, or whatever his real name is. But yes, I'll be doing a live walkthrough, hopefully finding some good creators and doing some interviews with them. That's what I try to do on my live walkthroughs. So tune in. It'll be same time and same place, but live with whoever I happen to run across. And hopefully, like I said, no confrontations occur. That's always my goal, but we'll see if it's met this time. All right. Until then, have a great day. And then before we close out, tell us where we can find you, Connie and Dallas.
You can find us at hidehermitstudio.com.
You saw the website. You saw the good shit they have. Go buy it.
Yep.
So hidehermitstudio.com. It's in the link, or it's in the chat. You can find it in there. And then Grant, where can we find you?
So comicsburg.com. It's spelled just like comics and then Berg, like Pittsburgh, with an H at the end, .com. I'm on all of the social medias except for Twitter, because Twitter sucks. Grant Lankard is a pretty distinct name. If you just type that into your search bar, it should come right up.
Yep. And I know, yeah, did you have an individual Instagram for the Beowulf comic?
Yeah, I have individual Instagrams. I have one for myself, one for League of Cryptids, one for Beowulf.
So find the Grant one, and then you can find all the different books as well. So
exactly.
head over there, give those a follow. It's well worth your time. And Greg, where can we find you?
SeerNovaComics.com. That's SEER Nova Comics. And then all the social media, even Twitter, though I don't do anything on there. It's just there. Blue Sky, YouTube, Pinterest.
Pinterest. Now there's one I don't think I've had anyone have yet. So that's all the socials. Same thing. You can find all of mine at Finish Line Comics for whatever you're looking for, including Twitter, where I think the last post I had was well over a year ago. So I don't actively engage on that, but I do have it. So if you want to see, if you don't want to be pestered with all these posts, then follow my Twitter. There you will never be bothered with me posting anything. Like, I just want to see your old pretty art and look at your old Kickstarters that are too late, because I don't want to be bothered and quit asking me for money. So yes, but everywhere else, Finish Line Comics, where I do actively post. And go on my YouTube. I have that. I'll put the link in real quick for that one, so you can follow that. We are trying to build our subscription list or build our followers. So if you aren't following my YouTube, please give it a follow. You can watch me go full flamingo next week. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fun. I'm going to humiliate myself, and I am hoping that nobody I teach finds it. But kids are very persistent. They will find me embarrassing myself. I'm already fearing that. But until then, see us on Wednesday. See me, Full Flamingo Wednesday. Come in Saturday, check out a full walkthrough of the Pasadena Comic-Con, and hit all these websites. Check out these books. Support indie. We need your support, because no one is bringing us piles of money except for you. So bring us those piles of money. And thank you so much for supporting indie. Thank you so much for watching the show, and we will see you next week.
All right.
On the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave